Welcome to Crafting Possibilities and Find You Fridays, Readings with Lorene. And this is an Imbed with Possibilities podcast. And let me just say thank you for being so patient while my computer decided to have some funny moments and figuring itself out and figuring out how to work with me. So in respect to that, if you could share this out, that'd be amazing. Thank you. She's having a wee moment because holy moly, this is. Hi, Melinda. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, the energies at the moment, right? It's just like kaboom, incredible out there. And I've been doing a lot lately with playing with the different dimensions. And before I actually had the computer all set up, ready to go. I was in the studio. All the lighting and everything was perfect. And thank you, Belinda. I went away to do my makeup. I came back and everything went bleh on me, and I went like it was bleh before I walked in, and I went, what the heck happened, computer? You were doing just fine. And then I realized what it was. It's because my vibration changed between me being in at the computer and going out to do my makeup and stuff because of what I was listening to. So we have some really, really cool, interesting stuff happening in the world. It's sort of around nowish, moving through the next 7 days or so. And some of you may have heard about this, some of you may not. So let me just check these comments. See. Oh, thank you, Lynn. So beautiful. That's the heat from today. I didn't have to worry about the heat too much because we got the aircon put on while I was painting these ceilings. So that was good. I was very grateful. Very, very grateful. I ended up with a big splodge of paint in my hair today because, and it was like, oh, so funny. Absolutely hilarious. And I was like, uh-oh, overloaded the roller on that occasion. It happens, every now and then. It happens. And then I was just like, you know what? It's okay. It was on me. All right. Oh, no. I didn't need to see that. All right. Hi, Sam. Hello. Let me just get up my usual stuff talking about this one. That's a good one to start with, isn't it? So at the very least, you can see where to pop your donations through if you haven't done so already. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Proceeds go towards charity. And that's mainly because you crew are just awesome. What can I say? And it's like, I just wish to share the awesomeness around, All right. So let me see if
I don't know if I'll be able to. But let's see. Oh goodness, here we go. Yay! We're getting there. Oh, my poor wee computer. My wonderful, amazing, oh dear. Computer. Oh, seriously. Thank you, Mel, for the for the PayPal. Oh, Lordy. Lord. So let me go into just while we're trying to find all this stuff. So there's several things that are happening over the 7 days. Yes, it will be a nice charity. Once again, I like to be able to give to people where I know the funds are going to go to the people as opposed to going to administration and stuff like that. And there is a group that has been playing in and around me for a while. So it's the Rotary of Tea Tree Plaza. And they do this absolutely incredible thing where, so it's Rotary, but the people that I know that do the Rotary thing are the ones that are like, do this amazing thing. So at Christmas time, what they do is they get together and they do a lot of fundraising over the year so that they can get together a lot of presents and things for families that just simply can't afford it. And it's not just presents, they often give food and all of that sort of stuff too. So I'm thinking maybe later on in the year, I might give some to them. The lovely lady from New Zealand who's been doing, Glenda, who's been doing the cooking for the people who have been doing the volunteering of cleaning up the Hawke's Bay area. She was so grateful for everything that you guys donated last week. And I'll be completely open and transparent with you. She actually said, just hold on to it for now because my oven needs to be, I need to upgrade my oven. So actually, I'm going to ask you all, because this is a community thing. This is our little community that we have here. Do you all, because I have still held that money, do you give me permission to get the money over to her and tell her to use it to go towards getting her a new oven so that she can continue to do her good work? You let me know what you think. And I'll, I think she's going to go back and do some more cooking. But yeah, apparently her oven's kind of like crapped itself a little bit from all of the use. So I'm like, I just sort of felt like I should ask you all what you thought about that before I kind of push the money through regardless. Because I have my ways and means. I was like, I did say to her, what's your PayPal so I can give it to you directly? But if she's going to be a bit sticky about it, I can get it to her through my original channels. So yeah, she did some really yummy baking, and she's just done some absolutely wonderful things for the people over there in Hawke's Bay, and I'm just so proud of her and proud to be part of that in some small way. And yeah, so cool. You all others, you let me know what you feel is the right thing to do. Oh, I know, the baking, right? It's like, there's just something about, oh my goodness. No. Oh, this is hilarious. Literally, my computer has opened, let's see, no. No. Oh my God. So it has opened up 4 documents, all like this is just hilarious, my friends. I am just cracking like a knackin'. Seriously. It's like, no, we don't require any of those. And I really don't wish to be doing this right now, computer. Like, can we do this later? Then it'd be awesome. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. We might be getting somewhere. If you're just joining me for the very first time, we're normally a lot more organized and a lot no, I'm not a stuck keyboard key, Melinda. It's just me. I'm vibrating at a really, really different level right now, and my computer doesn't know what to do with it. Oh, but thank you. It's cracking me up. Totally cracking me up. So there we go. Finally, we got that one up. All right. So what's happening in the world right now? What we have happening in the next 7 to 10 days is there's a few things going on, but one of them, obviously, we've got the new moon coming, and that is on the 22nd of March. Now, that date is actually quite significant, because the other thing that's happening with that is also called Heaven's Cross Shift. Okay, it's happening on the exact same day. So, yeah, I didn't need any highlighter today. It's all natural. So this heavens shift is something that has been building for quite some time, and there was some really cool hang on, I'll just pop that. Sweet. Now I can get rid of that. Right, now I can focus on you guys. So this event is really a marker point of the shifts in consciousness. So many of you will be very aware that over the last thank you, honey. So over the last probably at least 20 to 50 years, there's been a really very slow bit of fluff sitting on my lipstick, on my lip gloss. Anyway, magpie moment. Squirrel. So there's been a gentle progression towards consciousness of a different level. Okay, so I could go into a big long story about it, but I'm not going to. If you really wish to learn more about where we came from and how we ended up sort of becoming 3D and all of that sort of stuff, there's a couple of books that no hair from the stuff on my head. So there's a couple of books I would recommend that you read or listen to, as the case may be, because that's how I have indulged in them. One of them being The Women of Lemuria. So if you're a lovely lady or a man, but you're wishing to learn a bit more about how, we came to be here, and also the reasons why the shifts in consciousness happened and all that sort of stuff. It's actually the channelings of Cryon that have been very, very well collated into chapters. Each chapter has the themes of whichever topic. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book. Where is it? here it is here. I actually have it in hard copy now too, because it was so profound to me that I was just like, this is a book that I have to have in my collection. Okay, so The Women of Lemuria, Monica Morani is the Australian author who has put this together, and she had followed what is his name, Lee Carroll, who did the channeling of Cryon, and also Dr. Amber Wolf, who's also known as Melly Ha. She also channels Cryon. So it's just a fantastic book. And that one there, hi Angelita. So that one there is an absolutely phenomenal book if you'd like to get to know why we are where we are right now and a bit of the history. The other book that I would highly recommend is one that I'm currently listening to, is called Waking Up in 5D. So that one there is by, let me just double make sure that I'm saying her name correctly. And of course, it's moved to a different thing. So Waking Up in 5D is by Maureen J. St. Germain. Okay, so yeah, Cryon. Now, I've never really done Cryon. I've never really listened to Cryon. I've never had anything to do with Cryon until this year, and everything in perfect timing, right? So those two books there are really beautiful books to read one after the other, and they just float on really, really well. Okay, so the Waking Up in 5D one is partly why my computer went crack, because what I was listening to and watching was an absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to put it in the chat here. It was some really amazing videos from a group called Mastering Alchemy. And they're talking about the Heaven's Cross. They're talking about all the, like, they've got this event that's happening. Then they're doing it like a free live stream on YouTube and Facebook. You don't have to register for it or anything. And they've got a free webcast that's happening at Crimson Circle on the 22nd of March. They've just got a bunch of things that are happening that are all pretty much all free. You might be one of them that is a register. So I'm going to pop that into here. Okay. So highly recommend watching that, because you'll then gain, even if that's the only thing you watch, these little short videos from those guys, you'll start to comprehend more of what's going on right now. And what's happening, from what I've learned and listened to in recent months, is, and from different sources, not just those two books that I've mentioned, but other people as well, is that this shift in consciousness has reached the tipping point of, we're no longer on so much of that long, hard slog anymore. It's like everything is just starting to happen with a lot more ease. And this Heaven's Cross is to do with that. It's to do with changing how you perceive things to create and manifest and actualize, putting this all in my terms, okay, or terms that I use rather, with so much ease, it seems absolutely crazy. Now, you may have already noticed this happening, because, for example, when I got my job, my cleaning job, I got it with so much ease. It was like really super weird. I got it. Didn't have to give a resume. I didn't have to give even a CV. I didn't have to give any references. All they really wanted to know was, do I have a police clearance, and do I know how to clean? And do I have the right attitude, basically? Am I willing to do the work? And I was just like, yes, no problems. Another beautiful friend of mine and Angelita's, thank you, Angelita, has also had the same thing happen just this week. It was a contact through somebody that she was working with, And then next thing you know, she gets offered a job. A 20-minute interview, no references, no curriculum vitae, no resume, no nothing. And bam, she's offered this beautiful job. So what if your world, if you sort of like the sound of that, if you like the sound of being able to create your life with total ease and from the space of no judgment, and also from that space of total allowance of how something shows up, let that be what your focus is on Wednesday. Okay? Anything that doesn't allow that, ask for it to be released, which may mean that you have to quieten your ego somewhat. Okay, because the ego is going to try to go, oh my God, this isn't how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have hard work, and it's supposed to be, you got to prove yourself, and you're supposed to do blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, you don't have to do any of that anymore. Your language is going to change. How you think is going to change. How you interact with other people is going to change. And it is time that we learn, or rather remembered, how to do all of those things. So the 22nd of March it's just kind of a date in the center of this change, but it's going to be, it is the tipping point. Okay, so this month, if you like, or even this year, is that tipping point in consciousness. So like you probably heard from many well-renowned astrologists and readers and intuitives, this year is the one that you can feel that the light is winning. And I felt it even before we stepped into this year. I was like, 2023 is going to be awesome. I could feel it. And so far it has been in so many ways. I knew that things were going to change with me for my finances, and it has. And all for the better and ease, more ease. So there we go. Melinda's saying that she had something similar. Yep, interview, just a chat after you set your CV. Awesome. And what if you didn't even have to send your CV? So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are changing. And because I was, when I turned on my laptop, I may have dropped down slightly. And then I went back while I was putting on my makeup. I was expanding out, making sure that I'm all right and ready for you all. And that's part of why the energies in the laptop went, I don't know what to do with this, because she's just so vibrating so differently right now. So that's why, partly why she went a bit wacko. That's okay. That's okay. So yes, remembering that manifesting is just the thought. It's like getting your recipe, getting the recipe card, if you like. The recipes, you don't even have to worry about the actual recipe. And the actualizing is about having it baked and in your hot little hands. That's the actualization of the manifestation. Okay? Cool. Okie dokie. So that stuff is all happening. So what I'd like to do is to do a reading for obviously the next 7 days, a group reading for the next 7 days, and which is incorporating also the heavens cross shift, the new moon that's happening on the same day. Like that's a mistake? I don't think so. Or rather, that's a coincidence? I don't think so. And let's just see how we can work best with these energies. Let's see, who would like to come and play for this one? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Okay. What's the drink you have again? I'll try to get that in New Zealand. Are you talking about the sacred Tulsi tea or because that's the one that I like when I'm going through some big changes and stuff. It's very soothing. Yes, a lot of abundance happening. And I'd been told about it for quite some time, and it's just really interesting to see it coming. That would be the Bengal spice tea, which is from Celestial Seasonings. And I know that New Zealand has Celestial Seasonings. Whether you've got the Bengal spice, I don't know. Okay, team. And currently I have Mary Magdalene and Kuan Yin standing very close by. They are supporting me through this next stages of upgrade and what's going on with the collective at the moment. So as a result, I have had to curb my swearing because A, it is quite 3D to swear. B, it's Mary Magdalene doesn't appreciate it at all. So she does allow me the occasional swear word when it's used for just general emphasis, like as in very sparingly used. She's okay with that. But otherwise, I get like a little flick on the ear from her, and then she's like, and now we move on. It's kind of funny. So in respect to her, don't be surprised if I don't swear very much today. So let's see, ladies, and my team and my higher self. Hi, Lisa. Hi, darling. We're just doing the collective reading at the moment, so we'll see what happens. How's your painting going, Lisa? Ceilings suck, don't they? Or rather, they're an adventure. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No more from you. Okay, cool. Something else? Oh, okay. No. Zen spray is something that my partner uses for muscles and things like that. And have a look on YouTube for different physio moves that you can do, because you might it might be that you're using your legs in a way that, or your muscles in a way that's pulling your kneecap off to the side, and that can be why your knees are sore. Cool. All right, so it's a bit of a longer reading today for the general reading. The teams and everything had a lot to say. Okay, so we'll start off with the what deck is this one called? The Starseed Oracle. That's why I said, isn't it ironic? So this general reading is from the 18th of March through to the 24th of March. This is incorporating the new moon and the Heaven's Cross shift, which is happening on the 22nd of March. So this first part is about how can we best work with the energies that are coming through this week. And first of all, we've got, there we go, baby steps. Okay, and this says action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Okay, so quite often when we're still sitting in the 3D world, we will want, and I say want, to know how it is all going to happen before we choose it. We want to know all the bits. We want to know all the total end package before we'll even choose it. When you're sitting in the 5D, you work off the energy and you work off the choices that you make. And basically the choices that are presented to you are going to be choices that are going to enhance and encourage and make your life just more amazing. Because when you're in the 5D, you can sift through all of the lies, you can sift through any deceit, you can do that with total ease until it pretty much doesn't exist. Okay, so what this is asking you to do is, like, when a possibility comes your way and you go, you can check with yourself if you like, of course. You can check with yourself and say, truth, what will it create if I choose this? Truth, what will it create if I don't? But be aware that when you do that, you're still looking at duality, okay? So if this thing is feeling light to you and you've tuned in with your higher self and you've perhaps done some muscle testing, you've expanded out, I highly recommend expanding out before you do anything else, because otherwise you're going to be in your ego mind anyway, and it's going to give you a wonky awareness, if you like, a wonky reading. So expand out to at least past the universes. You know, we do that when we do our meditation parts. We go out past the planet, the solar system, the galaxies, and the universes. Go out at least that far. Then have a look and go, oh, you know, what will this create if I do this? And if it's like, you have the chance to choose that. And the more often that you work on practicing that muscle of choosing the things that light you up, even if it doesn't make sense at all, the faster, quicker, easier it'll be for you as we're moving through these new energies. Well, they're not really new, but they've always been there, but new to us in some regards, okay? This next one is really cool, and I have already been experiencing this quite a lot this year. This is the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. So for this next week, you might be feeling that you have a whole lot more little fire upgrades, awakenings happening. Okay, not surprising because we have got that Heaven's Cross happening on the 22nd, and there's a lot of energy around that as well. So with that, there is an acknowledgement that you might require space and rest on particularly the 22nd or around the 22nd, okay? Don't be surprised if you come home after your day of work or whatever you choose to do and you're completely zonked at 8 o'clock at night or even earlier. Please trust that. Please go with that and allow your body to rest, okay? So that's often what happens when we are through integration mode. We push through, and that's not what is required when we're moving into this 5D realm, okay? This next card that we've got for the week of how we can best work with these energies is trust the timing. So trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So this is interesting because unless I had watched those videos before I hopped on the show tonight, I wouldn't necessarily get what this was talking about. So this is talking about the good old philosophy of Armageddon that sits in the Christian world, and that this time is supposed to be Armageddon. Now, the funny thing with that one is like we go in their little stories, they go, oh, the heavens are going to open and then Jesus is going to come down on this white horse and with his army and wipe us all out, and all the good people are going to go up to heaven and all bad people are going to go to hell. So basically, that's not going to happen. Okay, heaven is already here. Heaven is in here. Heaven is here with the earth. It's only our point of view that makes it hell. The only hell that exists is within our minds because we create it. Okay, so trust is going to be a big one that's going to come up a lot. So if you're a healer, you're going to be asked to trust the process. If you are a reader, you're going to be asked to trust your team and your own awareness a lot more. If you are somebody who has not yet opened up your Akash and reacquainted yourself with your Akash, you're going to be asked to do that sort of stuff. And time is not running out at all. It's just the time is done for the old way. The time is done for the duality. The time is done for the ego to run the show. The time is done. That's what's running out. Not you. Not the work that you have to do. Not the contribution that you be. None of that is running out. There is still a lot more to come. Okay. Over this next week, if you can get yourself to somewhere where the earth is activated, there are power places, ley lines, and trust where you're led. That is what this card is talking about. So what I would suggest is, where is a place for you that feels really magical? And as I'm speaking, ask your body or your team to show you where that is, and to, if you can, at some stage, there's a lot of energy on that one, at some stage over this next 7 days, but particularly close to the 22nd, visit there, spend some time, be quiet, do some meditation, tune in with your team, tune in with Mother Earth and Father Sky, tune in with the elementals. Ask for their assistance with all these changes that are going on. And this is truly where we are meant to be. Now, not everybody's going to tune in on the same spot. That's okay. And doesn't make your spot that feels magical to you wrong. Okay? And that's what this last bit is. Trust where you are led. Okay? Now, these next cards, let me have a look at them. What we are required to know about the Heaven's Cross. Now, these are on the tarot, okay? So, first of all, we've got the Ten of Cups, which is really interesting. So the Ten of Cups, and obviously we can see that there's really happy times. It's rainbows. It's all bright and it's shining, and it's just like, yay, this is a time to celebrate. Absolute time to celebrate. You know, the light is winning and everybody is having a jolly good time. And within that, I get the sense that it's not necessarily the calm before the storm. Enjoy this week, okay? Because what's come up next is the Hanged Man. And what I'm seeing with him is you're going to have to make a choice, okay? This time is about making choices of how are you choosing to show up and interact with the world and the collective. Are you going to make that choice? It's not necessarily a big choice, but it is a demand of yourself to show up in a 5D way as opposed to in a 3D way. Are you going to make that very bold choice to be your own sovereign being? Now, many of us over the last 3 years since 2019 have made that choice in many ways, many different ways. And some came to that realization very early. Some came to it a little bit later. Mine was all the way through, but then the real crux of it came back in 2021, the end of 2021. And I was just like, no, I'm choosing a different path. Thank you very much. Not choosing this way. And I knew that as I chose that I would be okay. I trusted the path. I didn't know how. I didn't know how it was going to all work out. I had no idea if I could support myself. But it did. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of people making some pretty bold choices around this time. Don't be surprised if you're part of that. And don't be surprised if you feel a bit cranky with that too, because change can be uncomfortable. Okay. The next card that we have here is the Nine of Cups. So interesting. We've got the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So remembering that the cups is about emotion, okay, because the cups hold water and water is emotions. So when we're looking at this, there is a stability to this card. The person who's sitting on the stool, if you can see that, if I get the light right, there we go. So the person who's sitting on the stool there looks very, very content. It's content with the knowledge that everything is in order. Everything is in perfect order. And in regards to this Heaven's Cross, everything is in perfect order and divine timing. You don't have to worry about how it's going to show up, what's going to happen, all of that sort of stuff. You just be you. Look after you. Make sure that you're sitting within yourself and that you're not diving into other people's worlds and that you're not allowing yourself to tip the cups over and be swarmed in with all the other thoughts, feelings, and emotions of other people. Be sovereign. Keep yourself very centered and calm. And when you expand out, the cool thing is that all these months that I've been teaching you all how to expand out, this is actually allowing you to have that moment of sitting in the 5D, okay? Where you can literally be an allowance of what's going on around you from no point of view, where you can see the things that people do that you go, oh my goodness, what a stupid thing to do. But you'll be able to sit there and just laugh. Because that's the other thing about being in the 5D world is it's incredibly funny to watch the 3D people doing what they do. Because it's like, if only you knew. And it's not a place of superiority either. It's just, it is what it is. It's like this lovely gentleman sitting there on his stool with all of his cups perfectly aligned. It just is what it is. Okay, so that's something else to note about this Heaven's Cross. The other interesting card that has come out here is the Page of Pentacles. Now that's an interesting one to pop through, because as we know, the Page is a very young energy. So basically what I'm seeing, and it's Pentacles being the Earth sign, okay? So what I'm seeing here with this one is that it's an indication that we have a lot of newbies floating around. We have a lot of young ones who are on this process of awakening, remembering, and they are going to require a goodly amount of support. Okay, so all of you out there who are watching right now, who have been in the spiritual realm and the healing realm for a long time, you're going to have to be aware of these lovely young ones that are coming through. And there's going to be an element of stepping up. I'm seeing that in the feet there, of stepping up to assist them by being you and just showing them that it's okay to be you and that you love seeing them be them and all their bright, sparkly mess of awakening, and that it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be unsure of where this is all heading. It's okay. And that you're not weird or wacko for, suddenly being able to see things that you couldn't see before, or be aware of things that you didn't be aware of before, or whatever it is. The other thing I'm seeing with this beautiful card here is that it's really important to be very tapped into Mother Earth. Okay, bringing that unconditional love up through the feet, through the legs, through the body, and all the way out through the crown is incredibly important. And this is something that when you're speaking with these new ones, teach them. Teach them how to connect with Mother Earth. Teach them that they are surrounded by unconditional love all the time. There is never a moment in their breathing life, where they're not surrounded by unconditional love. Even in the worst of the worst moments, they are still surrounded by unconditional love. And this card here is very much indicative of asking the more experienced among us to support the young. Okay, the newbies, if you like. I love playing with the newbies. That is so much fun. And across there, I also see just this really lovely sense of brightness. I see a really beautiful sense of abundance, money, cash, wealth, and abundance. I see that coming through in a big way. Moving forward, there's going to be a rebalancing of the wealth, and I've heard this for quite a while now from different people and different intuitives and readers over the last few years, actually, and now I'm seeing it in here. Okay, so this beautiful heavens shift is quite an interesting heavens cross shift is just really, really interesting. However, you're still going to have to do the work. It's not just going to necessarily just fall in your lap. You're still going to have to be open to receiving. You're still going to have to be actively changing your vocabulary and your vibration out of 3D and into 5D. Now, here's a funny one for you. If you're vibrating in the 5D and you're playing around with something, so for example, if I'm vibing in the 5D and I'm playing around with my lovely pen here and I put it down, there's a very high chance that if I drop down into the 3D, I won't be able to find that pen because it's still sitting in the 5D world. So if over the next week, months, you find that you keep losing stuff, just have a look to see and backtrack. Was I like really vibing high that day? Was I like really happy and like nothing could bother me and stuff like that? Oh, yeah, I was. And then you'll probably find what it was that you've lost, okay? So yes, they haven't gotten lost. They're just sitting in a different dimension for a little bit. So there we go. That is the extended reading for the next week, including Heaven's Cross Shift and the lovely new moon energies. How does it get any better? We better do ourselves a happy card or a yummy card. Must put this set back in the box. It's starting to lose its yumminess. Its smell. Okay, we got tenderness. So over the next week, please be really tender with yourselves and just be very finely aware and attuned to your own energies and what your beautiful, gorgeous body is requiring over this next next week, okay? All right. Melinda, you paid for a session, my sweet. So as an extended card reading. That was cool. Yay. Oh, you're welcome, Lynn. Melinda, what would you like me to do a reading for today? This top came to me because I had to go to a hen's night and they had a theme of pink. And at that stage, I had nothing in my wardrobe that was pink. I did not have a single thing I didn't even wear pink underwear in those days. So I had to go out especially to find something that was pink. And I just loved this top when I found it. It's so pretty. It's got like little butterflies and things all over it. And yeah, I like bringing it out to play every now and then. Okay, Melinda. No, thank you. I tried to make sure I look especially lovely for you guys. Okay. Sorry, they just said you already know. But if we must. Oh, dear. They are crackers, right? They're just so funny. They make me laugh a lot. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, if we're sitting in the 3D world, if we had to do, I know it is good to have confirmation. So that's why they're like, oh, if we must. If we had the quote unquote workload that our team has, including all the archangels and the guides and the ascended masters and goddesses and all that come around to support us, if we had their workload, we'd like not get out of bed in the morning if we were thinking in the 3D realm, right? But the funny thing is like they just do it. Like there's just no qualms about it. It's just so like, okay, we're required here. Cool. All right, we're required here and here and here and here and here. Okay, no problem. Like, how cool would it be to function from that space where wherever you're required is not a problem? Ooh, okay, we're doing a big old shuffle duffle. Okay, cool. That's a sign that they're going, the card's not coming up, and I'm getting a little bit annoyed because I want to hurry up. Here we go. Cool. Because us humans, we're so slow. Interesting point of view, team. Interesting point of view. It's an interesting question, Melinda. Let's see if what the cards come out with, okay? Huh. Cool. All right. So first of all, we're getting value your uniqueness, which to me says stop doubting yourself, love. Okay. Oh, I guess you know what? Maybe it's better off the other side. These are really cool cards. So these, of course, are my Inner Segal, the Secret Language of Your Soul cards. And it says the world awaits you. It's like it's time for you to stop doubting who you be and doubting your contribution. It's like, just stop. Just stop. Be kinder to you. Because every time you're going into doubt about who you be. Okay? And then when you go into doubt of who you be, you're judging yourself. And that's not okay anymore. It's not okay to judge you anymore. It's time to value you and all that you be. Okay, your magic, your uniqueness, your contribution to the collective, your contribution to your workplace, your contribution to your friends. It's time for you to just let go of the habit of doubt. Okay? This next card's kind of nice. It says make your life more interesting, explore the unexpected. Okay? So bring in that fun, bring in the fun elements. And this is something that is spoken about in the Women of Lemuria. They use a thing called a teaching wheel. And one of the 5 spokes on the teaching wheel is called childlike. Or child life, sorry. So child life is about bringing the childlike wonder into absolutely everything you do. So when you do that, you stay young. You stay happier because then things don't seem to worry you as much. You think about it, when kids, fall over and they have a bit of a boo-boo and you go to them and you nurture them and make sure they're okay, or you ask if the ground's all right. However you work with that. And then next thing you know, they're up and running again. That is childlike wonder. It's about looking at the sky as if you've never seen it before. I do that. There was an absolutely glorious sunset tonight. It was so beautiful. And I was just like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so beautiful and for blessing us tonight. That's something that is asking to be more. And follow the adventure. Just be in that space of like, oh, here's a new adventure. It's like, instead of it being a challenge, what if it's an adventure? Going into work and going, oh, what adventures am I going to have today? Rather than dreading it. Or I know you don't dread your work at the minute because it's still quite new. But this is sort of more of a message for other people as well. It's like, what if all those things that you dread doing, even down to the simple stuff at home, some people dread doing the dishes or dread doing the washing or the laundry or whatever, or the vacuuming or cleaning the bathroom or whatever. You can go, okay, let's reframe this. What adventures am I going to have while I'm doing this? How can I make this more ease for me? So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that nice and light. Cool. So this next one is something, because we're also heading through this shift that's happening, well, has been happening, but it's like this is the center point. This is coming up for a lot of people naturally anyway, and it's to rest and review your path, okay? Assess what is and what isn't working in your life, all right? So this can be down to, all right, well, these are my thought processes. Are they actually working in my life? This is my clothes. Are they actually working in my life? This is, the way I'm eating. Is that actually working? This is my financial flow. Is that actually working for me? And you might find that there are things that are related to other things which seem not related, but they are. So, for example, how you think about your money and your finances and your wealth can affect how you eat and how you view your friendships and how you approach your work. And like just from that one little thing, it can flow and affect all those other things. So be very aware of your thought processes. Be aware of whether they're yours or not. And if they're not, return them to senders with consciousness attached, or return them to source, whichever way works for you. Okay. Doing life reviews it's a really good thing to do from time to time. That's why moving house is good. Helps shift things around. All right. I like this card. So it says, transform your relationships, move on and move up. So, yeah. Transform your relationships with you, definitely. And also have a look at who's around you. Have you got really high vibe people around you in your friendships, or not so high vibe? You may have to do a little bit of a review of your friends. Okay, that's what I'm sensing with that one. And have a look at, the energy of the life that you truly desire, and ask those, it's time to get brutally honest with yourself. Sometimes we choose to hang on to a friendship out of obligation. Sometimes we choose to hang on to or keep a friend close because, we've been through so much together, blah, blah, blah. And it's not like you have to just go, I'm leaving you now, I'm vibing too high for you. It's not, you don't have to do it that way. But you can just kind of step them out of your inner circle and push them to those like acquaintances side, where you allow the friendship to just quieten. And while you go off and vibe high over here, they can stay down in their low vibe over here. And you might find eventually that they actually leave you because they can't see you anyway, because you're like vibing up here in 5D land. It doesn't have to be all traumatic and stuff, but it's an important thing to do from time to time. All right. Ooh, this one's going to sit in your heart. Whoa. This one is transform hereditary pain. The past does not bind you. All right. So this is very much sitting in that place of, oh my goodness. Okay, which one is that? This is body stuff. Okay. So this is around things like my mother had it, my grandmother had it, my auntie had it, so therefore I'm going to get it. Okay, whatever it is. All right. So with that, be very aware of what you are creating and actualizing in your own body thanks to your hereditary pathways. Hereditary is not a sentence for you. who you were born to is not the sentence for you. You can change anything in your body that you desire to. And I know that sounds crazy. To a lot of people, it does sound really, really crazy, but you can. It's just, and if it doesn't shift, if it doesn't change, you've got to have a look at why that is the case. What points of views, what belief systems are you holding on to that is preventing that from changing? Do you have a belief system that it would make you too different from your family, and then you feel like you're going to lose your family? Do you have a fear around that? And that's why you're still doing whatever it is. For you to move through this next stages, these next upgrades, these next parts in your life, you're going to have to focus on what are you holding on to that is no longer serving you, but you're still holding on to it because you are sitting in fear, you're sitting in points of views, you're worried about, not being able to connect with your family anymore, all those sorts of things. My dad keeps on saying his illness is a hereditary, but my sister and I are saying, no, we are not taking them on. Good. So this is just another wee checkpoint to say, watch out for that one. Okay. Hi, Deborah. All right. Now we have a goddess that has come out for you. The goddesses love playing with you. Seriously. If you haven't got these cards, please get them. Now, the reason why I went, it's funny. So after the show is done, I highly recommend you go and watch those videos that I put the link to the website earlier, which was the Mastering Alchemy thing, harnessing the shift with the Heaven's Cross. Okay. This makes a lot of sense initially when I'm reading this. So this is Inanna, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Interesting, right? So let's do a little bit of a story time with Inanna. So she represents the power that comes back to us when we accept and integrate our shadow. Inanna was the most prominent female deity in ancient Mesopotamia. At the height of her worship around the Uruk period of 4000 to 2000 BCE, temples and shrines dedicated to Inanna lined the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. I apologize for butchering those names. Her name is Sumerian for Lady of Heaven. Her temples housed her priestesses, and they would each take a man to bed with them on the spring equinox to reenact the divine marriage between Inanna and her consort Dumuzi. The Heros Gamos, or marriage, is an ancient ritual of uniting the opposites from within, the male and the female, the light and the dark, and most especially heaven and earth. This theme occurs in the accounts of Inanna's descent into the underworld to find her sister. She must take off an article of clothing at each of the 7 gates so that when she finally reaches her sister, she is naked. And when Inanna ascends, she does so with Ereshkigal's power, which is her sister. So when your soul selects her card, Inanna goes into the depths of her own unconscious to merge with her twin sister self. She becomes more powerful because she is no longer using conscious psychic energy to keep her shadow or negative attributes hidden deep underground. She courageously descends and faces the aspect of self that are hard to get to when she is fully dressed or cloaked in cloaked heavily in the ego. And Anna is an invitation to get naked. She wants us to drop our defenses. She wants us to see how holy and sacred it is to be vulnerable. As above, so below. This is an alchemical adage that suggests heaven and earth are not so separate. It suggests that within us, deep down in the dark cages where we place parts of ourselves, the truth that exists there also exists right here on the surface of our everyday lives. So if we are exerting great amounts of energy to keep from seeing our shadow, it is actually playing a large role in our conscious life. When we can face what we think is dark or negative about us, really embrace it and see it for what it is, a beautiful broken place that's called for love, then we can emerge more whole. We can marry the light and dark aspects of our being, and in uniting with our twin sister from the depths, we can stop projecting her onto other women. We can see and own the hot mess we often are and not get sabotaged by it. The light must cast the shadow, and the high priestess is one who gets called to love them both. Your soul voice meditation is, can I love my shadow as much as my light? And your intention is, I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Okay. The reason why I read that out is because it's actually really super relevant for the collective for this coming week as well. So I hope that helps many of you. That was really cool. Thank you, Anana, for your assistance tonight. And your yummy, yummy card. Let's have a look. Kindness. And with this, I get compassion as well. So just keep focusing on your kindness, keep focusing on being compassionate, keep focusing on valuing your uniqueness, keep focusing on, just having that childlike wonder around the world. Make sure that you're resting when you can. When your body says she's tired, please listen. And there's going to be some interesting reviews of your relationships and how much time you spend with people who are not vibing as high as your beautiful self. All right. Thank you very, very, very much, Melinda, for your very kind donation. I am incredibly grateful for you and all that you be. Yeah. So there's no try anymore. Okay. It's now do. Okay. I do focus. Try is actually a very 3D word. It's giving you an out to not do it. An excuse, if you like. You have a responsibility to yourself and to the collective. You all do. We all do. To be very mindful and aware of how we are speaking about ourselves. We can't do the glorious, hey, Grandmaster. Nice to see you. It's been a while. We can't do the glorious work that we are being asked to do and be, that we signed up for. Just ask your Akash. It's all there. If we're not taking care of us and we're not respecting us and we're not honoring ourselves and we're not in that space of total vulnerability and allowance and gratitude and, all the good stuff and trust. Trust. That's what's come through these readings today in a big way, is trust. Okay. What have you got to say, Lynn? Yes, no, can't. Newberry also. No ifs and buts. Yes. Lynn, seriously, you got to change your name on your Facebook. It's nice to be incognito, I know. All right, Lisa, are you still floating around out there? My beautiful friend from New Zealand, are you still floating around, honey? I know it's late, getting really, really late over there. Good old New Zealand. Why are you yelling at me, Barry? Why are you yelling at me, Lynn? Oh, so you have. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lynn. Oh, 11. Oh, dear. That's better. Thank you. All right. Lisa, I'm just going to give you a quick card. Is there something particular that you want me to have a look at? And then I'll do Lynn's one. So, Lynn, if you could start formulating your question, then I could do yours after. I just do a quick card for Lisa because she hasn't been on for ages. So, we'll say it's PTSD. I had a previous workplace. What question is that? So my previous workplace, it was quite, in the end, a little bit bullyish, but narcissistic and a little bit gaslighty. And they would often send out emails with capitals, all capitals, and in bold and highlighted. So it was kind of like we had people from head office yelling at us every single day. And I would be like, I just can't read this. I can't do this. It's too harsh. The energy is actually too harsh. I don't like it when people yell at me. I've never liked it when people yelled at me. You're so cute, Lynn. Yeah, I know. So yes, that's my little thing around the all capitals thing. I find that energy a little bit rough sometimes. I like to use it as emphasis, like congratulations, because yeah, I am yelling in celebration for you. Okay, Lisa. Oh no. I mean, yay! You got me pulling out the big dick glove. All right. We got the big one. Make it good. All right. You're going to love it because it's right in line with the group reading. And if you didn't catch that, go back to whenever that was. It's a little way in. And have a look at the group reading. So we've got the Nine of Summer, which is the Pomeranian dog. So it says, now is the time your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still yet to come. So this is why I'm just like, I'm laughing because with this heavens crossed shift that's happening. Highly recommend taking a little bit of ease and time for yourself to do some like gratitude work. Have a look at what you desire to create for your finances, and what if there's the only requirement of you is to soften and to be in your 5D space, whatever that means for you. Okay, the next one we've got is the 3 of Autumn, which is the miniature poodle dog. So you got the little doggies today. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. So this is your true self in your 5D, not your true self as your 3D. You've tried as your 3D and it was reasonably successful, but for you to really, really, really ramp things up, you're being asked to go to the 5 and start practicing being in the 5 all the time. So if you didn't catch those book recommendations from earlier in the show tonight, I recommended The Women of Lemuria, and Waking Up in the 5D. So Women of Lemuria by Monica Morani, and Waking Up in the 5D, which was by, let me just bring it up again so I don't get it wrong. Maureen J. St. Germain. Okay. The action. Exactly. The action. So as far as what you are being required to do or be is to be you. And the rest will start flowing in with a lot more ease and a lot more fun and deliciousness and tastiness. And you will discover that you will just start flying without, and you'll sit back in 6 months' time going, how the heck did I get here? But wow, that's so super cool. So that's just a nice little 2-card reading for you, my dear. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for staying up. Thank you for joining in the party. Alrighty, Lynn, you're up. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, what would you like to ask, Lynn? What sort of question have you got? I don't have a lot of parties as such. This is my party. The best kind of party. I get to sit down. I get to have spiritual chats with my friends. I get to drink tea. And I get to be surrounded by pretty lights. That's my best party. What do I need to do? Nothing. I went out to a friend's place and had dinner at her place last night. And it was really lovely. And we had pizza. And, well, rather, I had pizza. She didn't have pizza. And anyway, there's a story. And interesting. I'm just going to let that one sit for a second. Then just bringing your team in. Okay. And then we watched this interesting documentary about the oil that is secreted by the center part of the brain and then moves down through the spinal column and then comes back up again. very interesting. No, of course, honey. Of course. And while my friend basically only took the information about the oil, it was wrapped up in all of this other stuff. And I was just like, wow, some interesting points of views around that one that they have and I have, and and so we ended up just having a really quite expansive conversation, but it was so expansive that it wiped her out. Oh, that was so funny. Oh, who is that? You beautiful, beautiful being. Hi, Anita. All right, so jumping back to Lynn for messages from her mum. Let's see. Who wishes to come and play with that? What do you want to play with, darling? Okay, thank you. Ooh, okay. So, Lynn, your mum, she's coming through, and it's quite interesting. She's got quite an interesting energy to her. She's like a little bit unsure. She's like, why am I here? And I mean, it could be a little bit intimidating, I suppose, when you've got Mary Magdalene and Quinn Kuan standing right there too. It's kind of like you've been pulled out of a general crowd of people to stand up on the stage and give a speech, like off the cuff. You know? She feels a little bit like that. She's like, oh, spotlight's on me. What? So I'm just asking her if, like, any little messages that she might have for you that perhaps you don't normally receive from her. And what I'm hearing at the moment is that she's just really, really proud of you, honey. She is so proud of you for stretching out and creating your page and doing all the things that you're doing in the spiritual realm. I always knew you could do it. May not have said it, but I always knew you could. It was part of our divine plan. I'm also getting a sense that when she was alive, she didn't always understand you. Would that be correct? Oh, thank you, Julie. That makes more sense now. I was like, oh, I was so confused. I was like, who's that? They haven't been in the chat. Thank you, hon. Okay. Yeah, because it's sort of like she's saying, my body didn't understand you. but my higher self did. And my body was running the show at that time. And now she's saying she's sorry if that confused you. She never meant to confuse you. She was doing the best that she could with what she had at that time and the world that she had. Hi, Anita. Yeah, thank you. I've got yours there. So yours will be after Julie's. Okay. She's really happy that she can now not have to play the game of her body, her 3D body. She's really happy that she can actually come through and be with you in this space where you can perceive her and she can surround you with the love and the guidance, not really the guidance, the support that you always required from her and desired from her. And she said she does wish she could have done that for you while she was alive. And yet she also knows that you had to build up the strength to do this as you have done. Okay, she said cards now. Okay. So we've got Magdalene's gift, and it says, write your story. So what she's asking you to do is, there's a story inside of you that is asking to be written down. If you haven't already started, please start. She said she will be there with you to help you. She said use the technology. So if you find it easier to speak your words, speak your story, then speak your story, and you can edit it afterwards. Okay. If it's easier for you to do that than type, then do it. Okay. All right. There's something very unique about your story that is asking to be out in the world. Okay. This one is the Queen of the Sun, and it says, nothing is lost that cannot be found. This one hit my heart and then went boom, straight up into my throat and gave me a bit of like teary eyes, because it was just like, I feel that heartache, and she's recognizing that too. And she's saying, I'm not lost. Barry's not lost. We are both here. We're here to support you and wrap you up in love and help you continue on the good works that you were always just destined to be doing. You have to free up your throat some more. So what I'm seeing here is, when you get the moments, when you go outside, lift your chin and let your throat chakra have the gift of the sun on your throat chakra, and imagine that opening out and releasing anything that is stuck on there, any energies, any belief systems, any thoughts, feelings, emotions, any hooks, any ties, any energies that are not meant to be there. Ask for the sun to come in and clear that away, and that'll help to release your throat chakra. Okay. Excuse me. And lastly, or before you yummy card, we've got simple gifts of appreciation. So I know that you do this already, and they're saying, please keep that up. And this is them being a little bit funny because they're like, don't get too full of yourself. And I say, you can be as full of yourself as you like. All right. These gifts of appreciation are, you know, the people who donate to you. It is the people for readings if you have that as part of your show. And all the other little things that come along your way. As you appreciate things even more and more and more will continue to show up. I'm hearing that's why the rich people keep getting richer. That's funny. Your mom's funny. Because that's what they focus on, right? They focus on receiving more money. And because they're focusing on receiving it, not from that space of lack, they're focusing on receiving more money from that space of abundance, because they know that the world is abundant in wealth and that there's plenty there. So that's why the rich people keep getting richer. So think like rich people in whatever ways. And the gratitude. Riches don't necessarily mean money. That's why we call it money, cash, wealth, and abundance. Abundance doesn't necessarily mean money. It's an abundance of beautiful things. It's an abundance of beautiful energies. It's abundance of beautiful rainbows. It's an abundance of, you know, all the things. To me, that's when you're wealthy, when you can actually take those things and recognize them and appreciate them. Final message from your mum is sharing. Keep sharing. Keep being you. Keep getting out there. Keep doing you. Keep doing the beautiful things that you're doing and sharing your gifts with the world, because it's so required right now. And there's more to come. There's a lot more of your gifts and talents that are coming. So now that you've opened those gates, there'll be more. And also along with that, be mindful that you may require more rest. So pay attention to that too. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. We have... I just love it when you're on, Lynn, because you're so busy in the chat. Okay, Julie, gorgeous Julie. And then Anita, you're after Julie, okay? Oh, I love you too, Lynn. Feel free to have a sleep now. Thank you for waiting all that time. I know it's so late over there. I'll be really, really happy when daylight savings is ended, that's for sure. Be nice. Love some guidance in what I might do in life. Ooh, interesting, juicy. Don't judge the 4 hours though, okay? Because 4 hours might be all you required that night, okay? be an allowance of how much or how little sleep you're getting. Okay? Because the body changes what it requires. Sometimes it requires more sleep, sometimes it requires less. If you've had less, that's okay. Just work with that and go, okay, body, thank you. Thank you for the sleep that I got. See, appreciation. Thank you for the sleep that I got. Now, what would you like me to do? What's so important that we have to be up now? Yeah. But I was actually getting a sense that it's time for you to go to bed. it's like your mum's still there going, and now send her off to bed because she hasn't had enough sleep. Oh dear. Yes, Mum. And then I just get, now don't be cheeky. You're funny. All right. Thank you to Lynn's mum for stepping in. And you can go now. Go be with Lynn. Go keep her company tonight. All right. Julie. Julie's team. Who would you like to play with? Interesting. So let's have a look and see what guidance Julie would have about what to do in your life. Oh dear. Julie, do you read or do Audible at all? Hi, Wendy. No. I mean as in books. Good night, Lynn. Everybody say good night, Lynn. Mwah. Okay, Julie. I highly recommend that you read or listen to, or I don't know if it's on Kindle, it might be, a book called The Women of Lemuria. Okay? Highly recommend that you do that. This is going to help you with a couple of things, because one of the things that has popped through is it's time for you to take responsibility for your own path. They're being very firm about that one. And it is time for you to stop delaying the inevitable. So let's see what else these cards. Oh. Okay. Right. So the control and creativity within you is battling. It's battling a lot, which is telling me that your ego is out of control. You're battling between, say, if you like to put it in another way, your 3D and your 4D, which is your creativity space. It is going at loggerheads at the moment. So it feels like you have these moments, these bursts of inspiration, then all of a sudden it's like, boom, back to reality, if you like, which is not that reality isn't even true for you, though. So it's sending you into this bit of a never-ending spiral. And the thing is, you have to get out of that spiral by raising above it. Okay? You've got to take responsibility for your path. Okay? First card out is you're not alone. There's that's your 3D thing coming through there with that word, that sentence. Okay? You do. It says you're not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. Okay? So when we are out of balance between our masculine and feminine, and our masculine is too high, we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. And this is where the control side comes in. It's like if you want anything done properly, you have to do it yourself. You can't have, it's very difficult for you to receive anything. You've got to control the spaces. You got to, everything, it can show up in neat freak. It can show up as just micromanaging. It can show up as guilt tripping. It can show up as high amounts of judgment, often about yourself rather than anybody else. So all of these are different ways that this high masculinity can show up. It's also a space of being very do and not receive. Okay, when we're sitting more as a balanced woman with her masculine and feminine sitting in balance, but to get to that point, you may have to take some time to really focus on your feminine for a while. Okay, because there's a softness about you that is asking to come forward. But right now, we've just got all this harsh masculine energy sitting right up here. And that harsh masculine energy is what is having you go into self-doubt. There is something creative that is asking for your attention and has been for a long time, really long time. And you keep going, I could never do that. I'm not good enough. And that is complete and utter bullshit. You are good enough. You just require practice. Okay? To have this practice, you're going to have to reach out to your women, reach out to your sisters. And that lovely book there, The Women of Lemuria, is going to teach you a great many things. Another book that is absolutely amazing for bringing forth the feminine is Pussy, a Reclamation by Regina Thomashauser. That's another one. That's how I started my pussy journey, my feminine journey. Okay? I know that there are beautiful goddesses sitting in this chat that are ready and willing to go on this journey with you. And it's going to mean that you're going to have to get incredibly uncomfortable for a bit. Because dropping down out of the masculine can feel very unnerving. Okay? The next thing that we've got for you is the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So here we go. Again, that softness. The softness is asking to come through. That childlike innocence is asking to come through. There is a very high chance that you're going to be required to do some somatic work. So somatic work is something that I do, and there are many others that do this as well, where you do inner child work. I'm not sure if you know how to do that for yourself, but it is actually in a lot of ways better to be guided by someone else. Even if you can do this stuff yourself, it is best if you have someone else with you to assist you with that. Simply because when we're trying to work through these, especially if it's trauma sitting in your childhood, if you have somebody else sitting there with you, and it can be online or whatever, doesn't have to be in person, there's a level of accountability and support that is given by that other person. Whereas when we're doing that work and we're doing it solo, what can happen is things can get really intense and then we'll pull back and we won't let it finish. So you've still got that trauma floating around and it's only half processed, right? Which is why doing work with others is so important. Okay. And there's a lot. See, even Melinda, she's like, ready to hold your hand. Let's go, sister. We can do this. Okay. So it is time. It's time for you to learn how to be softer and more gentle. Bring that feminine up. Make her your main focus for a while. Okay. The next card that you've got is Forge, Don't Follow. Pave a new path and be the leader you wish you had. So when I see this card, what I'm seeing is like you are a bit like me. You didn't come from, like, you don't have the role models. You don't have the role models in the spiritual world around you, or you didn't grow up with that. You just kind of stumbled through it on your own. And again, this is why this card's come out to say you're not alone. There's heaps of people around you. You just got to recognize us. And you've got to be willing to bring us in. You've got to be willing to ask us for help. And that's where your feminine side will be going, you can ask for help. And your masculine side will be going, no, I can do it by myself. You've got to soothe the masculine side of you and say, it's okay. We can receive help. It's okay. We're not weak for asking for help. If anything, we are recognizing that this is a space where we need extra support, and that's a strength. I love you. Thank you. Be the leader you wish you had. Okay? So, remember how I said that you had talents and stuff that they've been calling you for a long time? This is the card that is also confirming that. Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Okay, these are things that are going to come through when you soften, when you allow them, they will start coming through with a lot more ease, a lot more gentleness. You're being really well supported by consciousness, by your team, by the planet, by the collective right now, and especially for this next little while. Not that that's ever going to go away, because it's just going to keep increasing. Okay, it's up to you to choose. It's up to you to choose whether you are really truly desiring to have an easeful life or not. Do you wish for your life to continue to be hard? Or do you wish it to be a lot more ease and fun and joyful and delicious and yummy and, sensual and just straight up enjoyable? Because if that's what you desire, then you've got to have to make some choices. You've got Anita and Bella who are supporting you. The time is now. Everything is here. Okay? And what else might you like to do? It says Aqua, which is experience peace and calm. So I would suggest to you this beautiful aqua color. Start bringing that through. If you do meditation, or if you don't do meditation yet, do some. Even if it's just set a timer for like 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. 15 minutes I actually find is pretty good. And bring the aqua color through. Ask for it to come through and surround yourself with the aqua color. So you can start to soothe your nervous system, because I'm getting a sense that your nervous system's a little bit out of whack. It's like there's just a lot of tension. I'm feeling a lot of tension through my shoulders. It's almost like somebody's put a big rod through them. And as I'm tuning in to your body, I'm also sensing sort of mid back area. It's a bit tight as well. So you might be a good idea to start doing some gentle stretching, gentle movements, like what's it called? Kind of like Tai Chi type stuff. And there's a whole bunch of others that are similar. And there's, what is it? Starts with Q. No, can't. Yeah, Qigong. Thank you. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Julie. There you go. See? Pop it in there for me. Do that too. Okay? Just gentle movement. You don't have to be a thin ski bunny to do that. Any body shape. And there's even some things, like if you were somebody who was stuck in a wheelchair, there's actually some movements there that you could still do with just your upper torso. You just got to get creative about it. Okay? And finally, your yummy guard. Qigong. See, I've got Kuan Yin with me at the moment, so everything Kwa is, that's all I can hear right now. She thinks that's funny. I'm like, yeah, cheers for that. Healing. Okay, Julie. So yes, the next part of your journey is around healing. It's around healing your inner child. It's around doing a lot of that somatic work for you, and just you got to bring that and there's a space of anger, heat, if you like, that is sitting in your body that is requiring to be released as well. Funnily enough, I don't know if you know Kerwin Ray. He's a motivational speaker from the east coast of Australia. And he was talking about anger and how it can sit in your liver and your heart area. And it can, if it sits there for too long and make those organs very, very hot. And then you can end up with a lot of problems with your heart and your liver. So he was talking about primal screaming, which can be really useful. So that might be something you might like to employ. Be aware, though, that when you go into primal scream mode, that it can be quite a big vibration. I don't necessarily like that technique of using a pillow to scream into. It actually feels far more freeing when you can just give that really bottom of the gut, like big, huge, roaring scream and have it freely release. like I said, it can be a pretty big energy. I don't know if I told you that story of just before I ended up resigning my last formal workplace, I was very, very angry with how they had treated me, amongst other things. And it had been brewing for many years. And it was like we just got to the final straw, and I was very angry. And I came home from my last shift, and I was like pacing my little house, like, really anxious, angry dog. And I was like, this isn't my normal space. This isn't what I do. And I was just like, no, I have to shift this energy somehow. And I thought, I'll have a shower. I'll cool off, literally. So I was having a pretty much a cold shower. It was November, so it wasn't too bad. And then I remembered this thing about guttural screaming or primal screaming. And I just let rip. And I yelled and screamed, and I, used all the swear words, and and I probably did that for a good minute or so, and I just let it out. And then as I quietened, all the windows in my little place were vibrating. All the dogs in the neighborhood were all barking. And I was like, oops. And then I realized I'd lost my voice. And I lost my voice for 2 days, which was actually probably a good thing, because it gave me time to just be quiet and integrate with what was happening with me. So yes, I hope that helps, Julie. Thank you so much for choosing your reading. And yeah, I highly recommend that if you beautiful ladies haven't yet created that group, a private group for you, please do so and get that going and supporting each other. Maybe make it a challenge group or something like that, where you do Facebook Lives every day for 30 days, or you create a space where you do book reviews, or maybe once a week meetings where you get together and you do energy swap work, or whatever it might be. So there's a real difference between being in that sort of little bit more formal, supportive space to just chatting on a group chat. So, and also it can be a space where you're sharing your magic, where and showing up in Facebook Live is an incredible way to build your confidence, and also just showing up with each other. I've currently got one of those groups going with a very small group of women, and it has just been such a huge gift. So yeah, that's okay. In this group, we've got people we've got New Zealand, Australia, different parts of Australia, and the States, United States. So it's possible, okay? And the cool thing is about doing Facebook Lives is that you can catch each other's videos as you can, like when you can catch them. So it's a really good way to do it. Okay. All right, Anita, it's your turn. Yes, Anita, you could. Fabulous suggestion. You had that sitting there. I love it. Oh, I love it. There's lots of juicy stuff in there. All right. So, you almost can't see me. Oh, this is fabulous. So we might we might do that one instead, so we can actually see me. Oh goodness, that was funny. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a look at your jaw pain. Okay. So this is from our beautiful Ina Segal, because she's just awesome. So have a listen to this. If you don't have the Ina Segal book, which is, again, I'll show you all once again, The Secret Language of Your Body. Okay. I highly recommend you get it. I picked up this version because this is the second edition. I picked it up from Big W. I think it was for like $22. Very affordable. Okay, so have a listen to this list and have a listen and see which things are most relevant to you. Okay, it may not be all of them. It might be all of them, and just have a look. Okay. So holding tension, stress, suppression, difficulty communicating how you feel, judgment, criticism, fear, inability to stand up for yourself and ask for what you want, guilt, blame, fault finding, feeling locked in, holding on to anger and resentment, stuck in a pattern and not knowing how to move forward. Okay. So now, booger it. Let's do it. So, remedy. Rub your hands together. Awesome. Cool. Good work. So, rub your hands together. All right. And then hold them slightly apart. Visualize 2 balls of orange light in your hands. And now place your hands onto your jaw. Gently move your hands in a circular motion on either side of your jaw while breathing deeply and slowly. Focus on allowing the orange light to melt the tension inside your jaw. Do this for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sit here for 2 to 3 minutes while you do that, but continue to do it as we move through this next section. Divine Healing Intelligence, please help me to release all stress, tension, suppression, judgment, criticism, limitation, and fear from my jaw, as well as all points of views, positive and negative charge, and all patterns that contribute to this condition. And now I can see that you have that beautiful book. So repeating clear until you feel a shift occur. And I'll use my magic words in my head. Focus on completely relaxing your fingers, toes, neck, head, and jaw. Allow your body to soften and let go. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and breathe slowly and deeply. Focus on something positive as you allow yourself to smile internally. And then smile with your mouth, knowing that the divine intelligence is on your side, assisting you to move through all your challenges. Let's say, Divine Healing Intelligence, please assist Anita to communicate with people in a way that they can hear and understand what she is saying. Give her the confidence to ask for what she desires and to become more creative and spontaneous in her life. Thank you. Anything doesn't allow that, just let it go. To strengthen your jaw, bend your middle finger and press your thumb over it. Extend the rest of your fingers. Hold that for 3 to 5 minutes while taking deep, slow breaths, making sure that your jaw is relaxed. Divine Healing Intelligence, please heal, relax, and regenerate Anita's jaw and all related organs to their maximum health, vitality, and well-being. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything that doesn't allow that, just let it all go. So the emotions for you to work with are stress, anger, guilt, fear, stuckness, and judgment. And your colors to work with are silver, orange, green, and pink. So I would highly recommend that you get in touch with all of those particular colors. You're welcome, and you're welcome. And so silver, orange, green, and pink. Okay. And I'm getting that if you sort out your jaw, your teeth will fix themselves as well. Okay. Right. Now let's jump back to that. So that's the jaw stuff. Are you actually ready to hear from Ebony yet? Okay. So first of all, I'm going to ask you to lower your barriers and expand out. Okay. Expand out your awareness out beyond your body. Everybody can do this. Everybody who's still here. Expand out your body, beyond your body, expanding out your awareness to the size of the room that you're in, expanding out your awareness in a big old bubble, a big young bubble, big sparkly bubble, out to the size of the building that you're in, expanding out your awareness out to the size of the state that you're in or country that you're in, now the country, now the planet. Oh, thank you. Expanding out, basically that's just all of your energies just went floating straight through me, which was really cool. I love it. Expanding out beyond the size of the solar system, expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes. Just take a big breath. And now focusing on your body, but without it contracting at all. Expanding out your allowance beyond the size of your body, beyond the size of your country, and the big, big bubble beyond the size of the planet. Expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies and the universes. And beyond your awareness, please. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to tune into your awareness. Okay, so this is where I'm going to ask you to use the light and heavy tool. Okay, I don't know if you know that one. No, you don't. Okay, so what's true for you will always make you feel lighter, and what's not true for you will always make you feel heavier. So think of something like your most yummiest food. Where, like, even if you only have just the tiniest, teeniest little bit, it makes you feel so happy, so yummy. It's like when I think about eating fresh mango off of the tree, like not store-bought, fresh mango. And like the joyousness and the fun that I had with trying to figure out how to eat mango because I had no idea. That makes me feel very, very light. Okay. And now have a think about eating dog poo pies. Right. So you should get a real difference in your body between those two things. All right. So the light one is essentially your yes, or what is true for you. And the heavy is what is not true for you, or your no. Okay. So truth is ebony still embodied. What's your awareness? Mm-hmm. That's what I got to. Okay. Let's see. Truth, did she... What I'm picking up from her is that she was in some kind of accident, and I get this sense of her crawling up underneath the bush, and that's where she passed. Okay. So I'm just quickly asking her. She said she suffered only a little bit, but not too long. She said she was wandering where she shouldn't have been. So she's aware. No. Quick as a snake bite, though. Very quick. Because broken bones can hurt a lot, you know? Like fire. Okay. So I asked her to pull some cards for me so I could have a little bit more of a message for you from her. She's going to be bringing you some new kittens. I keep hearing 3. She said, but you don't have to keep them all. So, yeah, this is going to be more. And you'll know when they've come from her. Okay. She said you have a big loving home, and she'd love everybody, absolutely everybody, to experience that. But she knows that you haven't got that much space. So she'll bring you exactly who she thinks would be the best fit for your family. And she'll be around them to help guide them so that they know what to do and how to do it and all that sort of stuff. Has she been doing funny things around the house and you kind of go, that seemed like Ebony? Because she said to me that she's just said, I keep doing stuff, little things that I used to do that I get this swatting feeling from her. Like she used to swat things. And like she's still been doing that even though she's in spirit form, just to let you know that she's still floating around for you. And she can hear you. Like you can talk to her and she'll hear you. That's okay. What else is there? She knows she was loved. All the moths. So if you find a whole bunch of dead moths, you'll know why. Oh, that's funny. Yes, because she can now reach them. She doesn't have to be stuck on the ground to get to them. She can now float up and get them. So she's actually quite happy about that. Oh dear, she's a funny one. So yes, it was very interesting because the first card that came out was the Princess of Autumn, cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. And she's a beautiful tabby cat. So yes, she's saying that there's some really exciting stuff that's going to be coming your way. Also, like we got the 3 of Autumn with the miniature poodle dog. He's come out to play again. And that's when she said 3. The 3 is really important to note on that one. But again, that card is also talking about profitable career outcomes, following your passions, all that sort of stuff, which is really cool. And this one here, the 6 of Summer. And this is what she was basically saying. So it was like 3 kittens, 3 kittens, 3 kittens, because it goes, the goose, the love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter that bit. Yeah. So yeah, 3 kittens. That was kind of cool. I love it. What a cool reading. Nice to get some kitten time and more cat time. Some nice little bit of cat mediumship. So I'm just going to double check with her, see if she said she knows and she'll work on him. Yeah, she's going to work on him so that, and she said she'll work on him in his sleep, in his dream time. So he'll be okay. He might resist a little bit to start off with, but he'll be okay. You might even find that one of the kittens just really, really takes a shine to him and won't leave him alone, like, and will do cool things. Like, that's happened. This has just happened to a friend of mine. They've already got three cats, and they've just welcomed in a little wee kitten that's sort of popped up out of nowhere, but completely matches the other three. They're all black and white. It's so funny, but this little kitten literally plays fetch. So cute. So yes, she knows. And so yeah, you might find that something similar happens. That's so cute, eh? And you're like, you chuck it and they go and get it and bring it back to you. It's like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like a cross between a dog and a cat. How cute is that? Alrighty, now let me just double check I haven't missed anybody. All right. Oh, Anita, got to do your yummy card. Did I do your yummy card? I don't think I did. Sorry. How rude. So be in your heart space, okay? Pay attention to your heart space. And like Ebony said, you'll know when they're hers, they're from her. You'll know when they come through. You know, right? And also I'm getting that is also in relation to your other questions that you had. On the love work stuff, okay? So keep dropping into your heart, keep dropping into your feminine, keep dropping into your lighter spaces, and you will find all the required answers, or rather awarenesses, that you desire. Keep using that tool, expand out before you use the light and heavy tool, because otherwise your ego can give you false yeses. Okay. Did an owl try to give Anita a message? I don't know. Very interesting. You guys will have to have a chat about that when you go pop into your little goddess group that you're going to be creating. All right. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you for coming to play. And just before we go, seeing as we did that nice little healing with Anita and we've done a little bit of expanding out, I'm going to do one final round because it's nearly 2.5 hours I've been yabbering away at you. All right, you ready? So, first number that pops into your head, all right? All right. So first number that pops into your head between 1 and 88. That's right, Julie. Well done. Cool. Thank you. Oops. Okay, 14. Oops, too far. Julie. Realization. Why is it that when a person loves another, that they can't see the obvious, that the other isn't feeling the same way? The hurt for the person is unbearable when they finally realize. They feel stupid that they just didn't see. But it's so much worse when it carries on for a long time. The person is denying the inevitable and falling deeper into the trap called heartache. Yes, Julie. You might feel like you're in a lot of heartache at the moment, and that some certain things feel really lost and like at a loss. But I'd like to remind you that you are completely surrounded by unconditional love, as came through in your reading. So now that we're all nice and expanded out, right? So now I'd like you to imagine that there is a bright white opalescent light shining into your heart space, going all the way down through your body, through your legs, and the rest of you can follow along too if you like, coming down through your body, through your legs, into the center of Mother Earth, and curling around the center of Mother Earth, and then coming up, back up through all the crystalline layers, gathering up any energies which are required, coming up through your feet and through your legs and through your pelvis and your belly and through your heart space and all the way out through your throat and through to the crown of your head and spilling out the top. Showering down over your arms, and that energy then returns back into Mother Earth. And now the recognition that this energy that you are now bringing up through on your inwards breath up, bringing up that Mother Earth energy and that unconditional love, that bright white opalescent light is literally unconditional love. Sending it back down to Mother Earth. You're receiving and you're gifting back. Notice that I'm asking you to receive first before you gift back. And each time you receive, you're soothing more and more of your heartache and your hurts and your losses and your pain. And then as you gift back, all of that is now going back to Mother Earth as energy so that she can change it for you. To come back to that beautiful, pure, unconditional love. Or maybe sending it out for food for the worms and the bugs and the flowers. She does as she sees fit with our energy that we gift back to her. Keep doing that. Melinda, 64. Oh, interesting. You're welcome. Melinda, okay. To my loved ones, when I die, may I have lived a full and long life. May I have received a lovely family. May I have cried, laughed, and loved. May I have listened to beautiful music. May my family and friends remember me. May they always think of the happy times. May they not dwell on the sadness for too long. There's a sense with this one that you may be required to not that death is coming for you anytime soon. No, exactly, correct. Not planning on going yet. However, they are asking for you to start getting organized on what would happen if. So, for example, that particular poem, it says at the bottom, my simple request is that this be read at my funeral whenever that may be. And also along with this is that part that actually stuck out the most for me in regards to you for this poem is, how would you like your family and friends to remember you? What steps are you taking so that that is the case? What would you wish to be remembered for? Have you put things in place for who gets what? You know, all that mundane stuff. Have I done that? No. Mostly because, well, I don't have children. So I'm just like, meh. But who knows? You know, with the amount of wealth and abundance that is surrounding us all at the minute, we require that sort of legalish type stuff floating around. Cool. That's awesome. Maybe it's time to review that stuff. Also having a look at where your super is going and how that's set up. Have you got stuff like my beautiful friend Tanya, she talks about, have you got at least 200,000 sitting in your super as, like, not in your super, but as part of your super thing of being for total and permanent disability? That might be something to have a look at. It's all very... I know. I love that you've got your will and stuff done. That's amazing. I don't know what an ACT is. It's like the Australian band, but with a letter missing. And I love that you've got children. Yay. All right, Anita. Oh, Anita. First number was 66. So that's what we're doing. Advanced Care Directive. Ah, thank you. I should have known that. I had a feeling that's what that was to do with. I'm just like, nah, if it's my time to go, don't resuscitate me. I'm good. I almost feel like having a no resus tattoo on me just so that I don't have to worry about it. Because at the end of the day, how is 7 was my partner's number. He is listening now. Oh, all right. He's going to love this poem that you've picked, and then I'll do his one. Let's see what his one is. Oh, okay. Oh, is that his favorite number, or is it the first number that popped into his head? All right. So for you, my sweets, rendering desire. Tense and wet, quivering with desire for someone I've never met. Reaching out with thoughts and words, feeling the reactions in every part of our bodies. Being our true selves because there is no judgment, no boredom or routine. Keeping our ears and eyes open, feeling the release of pretense, welcoming every sensation, being inspired elsewhere, wanting more than our minds connecting, the yearning of the physical, the reality of the present, and the desire to do more. Okay, so the reason why I asked if that was his favorite number is because when this poem book is in action, your favorite number is not necessarily the number that actually pops into your head. So Anita, this beautiful poem is very much around you and your delicious self, and you get to play with you. But I was also getting that sense that you're being asked to go to a whole nother level with your interactions with your partner. So looking at things from a more tantric side of life, and from that far more feminine kundalini type way of doing things, the light touch, the connecting of the different body parts. There's a couple of really good books that you might like. One of them that is popping into mind right now is called Slow Sex by Nicole Daedone. That is an excellent book for both of you. Okay. Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because the next poem is for him. Okay. So yes, Slow Sex by Nicole Daedone. For your beautiful partner, loneliness is something I can't quite explain. It can hurt, make me feel out of it. It's a heavy feeling which is inside my body. It's a part of my mind, but it's released through my heart. I go all silent. I can't explain why. I don't want to be alone again. All right. So it's interesting, given what you had versus what he has. He wishes to connect with you. And it's like, until you're willing to drop into your feminine a lot more, he's going to always feel like there's a separation between you. He's asking you to step up. Okay? He's asking you to be more of who you truly be. He doesn't need to fill that space. It's up to you to do that. It's up to you to allow him to see the softer sides of you and allow him to contribute to you, so that he can feel your pleasure just as much as you do. Okay? It's a really yummy and delicious space to be in. So I hope you both can move through this next stage and your growth together. That book will really, really help you to connect in a way that you wouldn't ever really see in other places. And it's really gentle. It's encourages you to do like very gentle massage around the clitoris, and it's just, there's a lot of stuff in there that is just really beautiful for bringing that intimacy levels together. You're very welcome, honey. Best of luck to both of you. Big, juicy, delicious kisses. Thank you for bringing you both through. That was so cool. Alrighty, my lovely ones. Let me just get my book. I don't even need to get my book. All right. So thank you all for coming to play. Thank you for being with us and continuing this beautiful space that is Find You Fridays. I feel so lucky and privileged to be with you all. This is like seriously one of the absolute highlights of my week, is when I just get to come here and play with you all and enjoy your feedback and your interactions and your conversations with each other and your conversations with me. It's one of the most happiest things I've ever created in my life. So thank you for being a part of that. On Tuesday, I will be back at 7 p.m. Adelaide time with Leanne Forrester, who is from Sparkling Lotus Healing, and she does lots of beautiful, amazing things. She is a sound healer. She does Sasham Reiki. She does flower therapy. She does like card readings and aura sprays and spiritual guidance. She's just absolutely incredible at what she does, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with her on Tuesday. And yeah, she's a big bundle of sparkly energy too. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know her a little bit more. And she's just going to be coming off of her Reiki, her Seishim Reiki Masters from this weekend. So she's going to be floating. So yes, in the meantime, everybody, I hope you have an absolutely brilliant week. And until I see you next time, please make sure you do something tasty for yourself. I don't really care what it is, but just make sure you do something yummy and tasty for you, nourish and nurture you. And I will, till next time when I see you, be bold, be brave, be you. If you're in YouTube land, please feel free to hit a like and a subscribe. Apparently, I'm supposed to say those sorts of things. If you're not, that's cool too. I adore you. Thank you for being here. And until next time, bye-bye, everybody.